All right. We are back here at Song of the Day, coming to you from the Rock Cave. I'm your host, Mark Pierce, as usual. And it is Sunday. I know you know it's Sunday because we are fireside yet again. And it is continuing to be a cold one out there. So, bundle up, pour that extra coffee, sit by your fire, and enjoy some tunage. What are we talking about today on Slowdown Sunday? We're going back to this week in 1972. This single from this band off their first album's charts for the first time, and eventually goes on to number one. We're talking about the band America and the song A Horse with No Name. It's their most successful single out of all of their singles. And who doesn't like this song? I mean, this is just good music to just sit around and listen to, right? So who are these guys? America. They are actually an American band formed in London. There were three sons of United States Air Force parents who were stationed over there outside of London. They met out of high school and formed this band and started getting some gigs. And one very early gig, they ended up getting a manager. But a very early gig in 1970 was opening up for The Who with Elton John. Now think of it, that's 1970, but still that's a pretty big deal, right? They put out their debut album, the self-titled America, in the fall of 71, and it didn't really, it did all right, wasn't really doing much. So they went back to the studio to work on a couple more songs, and they had a new song called Desert Song, and they started performing that live. And it started to kind of get popular, so they renamed it A Horse with No Name and released it as a single by itself when it was not on an album at all. And it just absolutely skyrocketed and took off. So they added it after the fact to the America debut album. So that song was not on that original album. Again, that one went to number one. The album went to number one and sold over 1 million copies of that record. And that's when their career started. And as you all know, throughout the 70s. I don't know what it is with the 70s, but when you look at what charted, it was just basically either a slowdown decade for the charts, and then there was, of course, plenty of classic rock and roll, but that's kind of funny. But anyway, they would go on and have, all kinds of singles, right? Sandman, Ventura Highway, Tin Man, Sister Golden Hair, Muskrat Love, Lonely People. Those are all great songs. So you just have to throw on America's Greatest Hits today. Oh, what happened to my fire? Got to change the log a little bit here. That's pretty funny. They also had another hit. They had a comeback hit in '82, which is controversial, only in that it's not in line with the rest of their songs. So they put out You Can Do Magic in '82, written by Russ Ballard, who we've talked about on the show. I did a whole show on Russ Ballard and his solo career in Miami Vice and all that stuff. But You Can Do Magic is nothing like their 70s stuff, but that was a hit for them, and not everyone loves that song. But I remember that as a kid, and of course I remember all these other hits as a kid, especially Tin Man and A Horse with No Name. So, America, that's your challenge today. This morning, put on America's Greatest Hits. Tell me your stories about America. Fans, not fans, you know the deal. And we got a great week coming up next week. We're into February. We're closing in on a year, slowly but surely. We're going to get to April, but we got a little bit of ways to go. So have a great day. It's Sunday. Like I said, bundle up by the fire, skip the commercials today, and have a great day. And as usual,